Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining Sustain Life Journal Yoga today. We are going to go ahead and get started in a child's pose in our Balasana pose with our feet together and our knees out wide. You can extend your hands out in front of you and allow your forehead to come down towards the mat. In today's yoga flow, I'll be using a mixture of English and Sanskrit to describe the poses that we will flow through, but just a friendly reminder that I am just a guide on this yoga journey of yours, and your most important person that you should be listening to is yourself and your own inner guidance and what feels right in your body and what doesn't. If you enjoy today's yoga class, you can subscribe to the channel to get all of these free classes. And if you'd like to learn more about sustainable living and yoga lifestyle tips, you can visit sustainlifejournal.com and join the newsletter. Begin to take a deep inhale through your nose and start to walk your hands towards the direction of your knees, about a handbreadth. Begin to lift your right hand up to the sky, just opening up through the right side of our body. And when you're ready, we'll thread our right hand underneath our left arm, allowing our right cheek to come down onto the mat. You can walk your left hand closer to the top of your mat to deepen the stretch. Begin to walk your left hand towards your head, pressing up on your left hand and opening back up to your right side just for a quick counter stretch. And then when you're ready, you can lift your left hand up, just opening up through your left side body. Taking a deep inhale through your nose. And on your exhale, you can thread your left hand underneath your right arm, allowing your left cheek to come down onto the mat. And just letting go, releasing into this pose, and remaining in attention to your breath, your inhales and exhales. Slowly begin to walk your right hand towards your head and we'll open into our counter stretch. Then we'll take a few moments to stretch out our wrists by bringing the palms of our hand to the mat, stretching out our fingertips, just swaying side to side. Finding what feels good in our body. And on your exhale, begin to move forward, tucking your toes underneath your sits bones, sitting up on your heels, and just taking a few moments to sit in this fire. This pose can be really intense, so you might find yourself wanting to take different movements with your arms or changing the pace of your breath. And when you're ready, you can roll forward into a tabletop position and gently patter the tops of your toes, just releasing that tension. And making your way up onto your knees as we move into gate pose, pajamas, extending your right foot out to your side, allowing your right hand to come down your leg and reaching over with your left hand. Your right hand can come to your thigh or your ankle, wherever it feels best in your body. And on your exhale, we'll release our hips down towards our heels, extending our hands out in front of us, moving into a sort of child's pose, but with an extended right leg. Slowly begin to shift forward onto your hands, and then allow your right leg to meet your left. And then when you're ready, extend your left leg out, coming up onto your knees and making your way into the side body stretch on our left side. Our hand coming to our left thigh and our right hand stretching up over our head, reaching towards our left side body. Allow your hands to come down onto the mat and shift your hips back into our child's pose with an extended left leg to your side. And then just breathe. Focus on your inhales and your exhales. Forward onto your hands, and then bring your left leg back underneath your hips into a tabletop position with our hips over our knees and our shoulders over our wrists. Begin moving through a few rounds of cat and cow pose, beginning by lifting our chin and our tailbone up towards the sky. And then moving into cat pose, drawing our belly button in and our chin in towards our chest. And then just alternating between these two poses, caving our back. We can move through this pose quickly or slowly, just finding your own organic movements, getting into the tight spots, and just following the flow of your breath. Begin to tuck your toes, lifting our hips and shifting our hips back into our downward facing dog. In our first Adho Mukha Svanasana of class, we can begin to bend one knee, then the other, just feeling around what feels right for us in this present moment. Really pressing into the palms of our hands and allowing our chest to come towards our knees. Slowly begin to tiptoe your feet to the front of the mat, coming into our Uttanasana forward fold. We'll begin by bringing a generous bend to our knees, and we'll start to move the palms of our hands underneath our feet. If this doesn't feel super accessible in your body, you can remain in a forward fold. The more you bend your knees, the more your upper body will be brought closer to the earth. So it might be more accessible than you realize. You can release your hands whenever you're ready and just relax into a traditional forward fold, but finding your own kind of movement. Maybe shifting side to side, bringing your hands to opposite elbows, or your hands interlaced behind your head, and just releasing. Take a deep inhale and rise up into a mountain pose, Tadasana, bringing your hands up over your head, drawing your belly button in, and standing firm in your power, and just taking a pause. This is definitely a pose that we can move quickly through, but we can also find time to appreciate the stillness. On your next exhale, allow your body to waterfall forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, drawing your belly button in and extending your spine out straight. Again, just holding this halfway lift for a few moments. And when you're ready, you can exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, bringing your hands over your head. And on your exhale, allow your hands to come to your heart in Anjali Mudra. Just taking a pause and really checking in with what brought you to your mat today, what you wanted to achieve. Just being grateful for your body and being able to practice today. Take an inhale, raise your hands up over your head. On your exhale, forward fold, planting your hands on the mat and stepping back into a plank pose. And we'll hold our plank pose just for a few moments. And when you're ready, you can shift your hips back, coming into our Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale through your nose, lifting your right leg up behind you, and then bending your knee, drawing your knee in towards your chest, bringing your knee to your right elbow, and then extending it back behind you. Bending your right knee again and allowing your foot to come in between your hands, and then spinning open into a warrior two, allowing your left foot to come parallel to the back part of your mat, pressing into your right knee. On your next exhale, coming into a side angle pose, allowing your right elbow to come down onto your right knee, extending your left hand over. Then making your way up into a reverse triangle pose, Viparita Trikonasana. Straightening out both of your legs and reaching back behind you. Then slowly begin to cartwheel your hands towards the front of your mat, coming into our plank pose once again, pressing into our hands and our feet, and then making your way into a downward facing dog. Begin to lift your left foot up behind you, bending your knee, drawing your knee in towards your chest, and allowing it to come to your left elbow. And extending your left foot behind you. And when you're ready, allowing your left foot to come in between your hands. And then opening up into a warrior two pose. Really pressing into our left heel and extending our hands, reaching out to opposite directions. Begin to shift your torso forward, allowing your left elbow to come to your left knee, opening your right hand up towards the sky, or even over your head. And just breathing, continuing to keep your focus on your inhales and exhales. Begin to extend your left leg, reaching back into reverse triangle pose. Looking up or down depending on where it feels comfortable in your neck. And then begin to rotate your hands to frame the outside of your left foot, making your way into a quick plank pose and then shifting back into downward facing dog. We'll begin to slow down our flow, lifting our right foot up behind us, bending our knee, drawing it in towards our chest, and moving in to our pigeon pose, Kapottanasana. Our right shin is parallel with the front of our mat, and we're pressing into the palms of our hands, extending our left foot out behind us. And I invite you to stay in a lifted pigeon pose today. You're more than welcome to come forward, but there's something about just staying in this lifted position to really stretch out our chest. And when you're ready, begin to make your way into your downward facing dog, and we'll move into our Kapottanasana on our left side. So extending our left foot up behind us, bending our knee, and making our way into pigeon pose on our left side. Again, pressing into our hands, lifting up out of this pose, maybe looking even up towards the sky. And then just coming to a place of stillness. Gently begin to shift your hips over to your left side, bringing your feet out in front of you, coming to sit on our sits bones. We'll go ahead and draw the soles of our feet together in this butterfly pose. And when you're ready, you can fold forward over your legs. The closer your legs are to your body, the more intense this pose will most likely feel. So just find what feels right for you. On your next exhale, begin to release out of this pose, and we'll slowly make our way onto our back into our Shavasana pose. If you'd like to bring your feet together, one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, you can do so. A different kind of Shavasana. We don't always have to be laying on our back. It just depends how we feel. In our Shavasana pose, it's just a time to release and to melt into the mat. So begin taking deep inhales and exhales through your nose and just releasing, thanking yourself for taking the time to take care of you today. As we begin to transition into the meditation portion of class, I invite you to make your way into a seated position, or you're more than welcome to stay laying on your back in a traditional Shavasana pose. In our meditation today, all we need to do is focus on our inhales and exhales and on the present moment. We'll always have thoughts swirling around in our mind. It's completely normal. And just because we decide to sit down and meditate doesn't mean that all the thoughts are just gonna automatically stop. So it's finding a way to just sit with them and not attach ourselves to them. Not that they don't matter, but just for this moment, not attaching to each and every thought that moves through our mind. So we'll begin by taking a few deep inhales and exhales through our nose, and I'll let you know when the meditation is complete. Begin to deepen your inhales and exhales as you start to transition out of your meditative state and into your day. Just remember, you can always take this place of peace that you've cultivated through your yoga practice today into your daily life. Begin to slowly open your eyes and preparing to re-enter your day. Thank you so much for joining Sustain Life Journal Yoga today. Really appreciate you coming to class and showing up for yourself and taking care of yourself. If you would like to join more yoga classes and meditation, you are welcome to subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to learn more about yoga lifestyle and sustainable living, you can visit sustainlifejournal.com and sign up for the newsletter. So thank you again for joining class today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.